Hey everyone, this is Dr. Lorenzo Neal. Before I go any further, I want to thank you all for thinking it not robbery to like and watch my channel. If you haven't done so, I invite you to subscribe, hit that subscribe button and the bell for when I upload future things. Like many of you, I've heard the news of the passing of rapper DMX. Um, I I loved his music. As a preacher boy, I wasn't supposed to listen to it, but I did, and I was thoroughly intrigued by his lyrical delivery, the intensity, and of course the roughness of it. That I think everybody loved that, or everybody who listened to it. The Rough Riders, we loved that, and I did. I enjoyed his music so much that when I was in grad school, um, I wrote an entire paper dedicated to his song "Who We Be" and exploring the socio-rhetorical lyrics. And I explored the lyrics from a socio-rhetorical perspective, and that was the first paper that I ever published academically, and the first paper I ever presented at a conference. And I presented it at a conference, and later also at the graduate student forum, and I won. I won. I placed at the conference. Well, I didn't place at the conference. It was well received at the conference, and but I did place at the graduate student forum. And what was intriguing about it, I explored how he used the in the introduction to his, every phrase, every verse began with da 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 da, you know, the rhythm, the something. I can't remember the lyrics exactly. And how he brought all of that up in the hook. They don't know who we be. So I didn't think my faculty advisor would allow me to present it, but I did, and it is very successful. And I don't even know where I published that article. I'm sure if I do a search, I'll probably be able to find it. And I know I still have the hard copy at my grandparents somewhere. But anyway, I I watched DMX's career go from music to acting, and I watched, like many of you from the sideline, many of his personal struggles. And I think the most enduring story that he ever said about himself was when this woman came up to him and told him that he was a prophet. He had the gift of prophecy. He could do that, and he understood that. And I related to that because when I listened to all of his songs, there is a deep spiritual undertone to it, and I guess that what made me connect to it. Um, Aside from some of the things he said, the intensity of the delivery, but the message behind, the spirit behind it, I really connected with it. And to see the brother struggle with mental health issues, drug abuse, and family issues with children and relationships, it really helped me to, you know, I to see that everybody struggles. Even the most successful of human beings struggle internally. And for geniuses, and I do consider him to be a genius, like many other like him. Kanye, I consider to be fairly well. He says he's a genius himself. But those women who are highly gifted, seem to suffer the same end or the same fate or the same torment. They don't get to find that balance. And it's not just with with celebrity, but I find it with clergy. I find it with academics. I find it with people in the world who are so gifted, and that giftedness oftentimes brings with it a battle that they can't articulate. Not only can they not articulate, they can't get help from it to them because they can't articulate it. As a mental health provider, as well as a pastor, one of the things that I'm hoping to engage more in my own personal life and in my pastoral ministry and with my community engagement and advocacy is to help people realize that giftedness does not have to be a hindrance to them. I think a lot of people suffer unaware because of the gift that's inside it. I know a lot of black men who are in prison now, and because they are in prison, it saved their lives. It brought out something within them that they would not have had if they had stayed in the streets. And I know a lot of young brothers who are taking others' lives, because they have no other means of, doing what they need to do. They don't have a sense of fulfillment. And I'm not saying that DMX didn't have fulfillment. I don't know. We would never know whether he had fulfillment or not. But what we do know is the brother was tormented. And that torment was accented by the fact that he was a celebrity. The people were expecting things of him. I watched his last verses, and I could tell he was really wrestling. And I'm sure many of you who watched that versus battle could also see he was not himself. He was trying to get back into that flow, and it was challenging. It was challenging. And to know that the brother wrestled so much with that, you may call it a demon, whatever you want to call it, to know that he wrestled with that so much that the only means that he saw to escape it was through drug use. It may have been drug use for him, but think about those who use sex, those who use alcohol, those who use money, spending, any other gambling, any other, addiction. And there are many. To escape this internal battle. And it's a heavy burden to know that the brother carried that. And I'm sure he had access to the best of mental health professionals, and he probably got it. But that thing was on him strong. And unfortunately, for those of us who are on the sidelines as admirers, we tend to want to extract from those we admire, those we celebrate, those we rank highly as creatives. We tend to want to extract from them their artistic self, and then do not, in many ways, we're conditioned not to regurgitate anything, to refund or to do anything, to see that their care, their mind, their soul is cared for. We just want the product. We're consumers. And man, my heart is heavy. Anytime someone goes and rests with the ancestors untimely, my heart is heavy. So pray for his family, pray for his children, pray for those who may be in similar battles like him, who are just average Joes. Man, and there are plenty of brothers, young and old, who are in the same boat. They may not have a drug addiction, but they're in that same boat. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on that. And it's a loss. It's a loss. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and if you don't mind, go to Patreon and support me on Patreon, just in case this gets demonetized. We invite you to join us in making things happen. Anyway, bless you. Thanks.